30 until like all that shit happened. You feel me? If you from around here, you know. Shit.
Bro, we have to get into that. Can we? We can. I don't give a fuck. It's fucking public knowledge.
Public knowledge.
Bro, so our old English teacher. Got my first kind of guest podcast. My big bro, Big Dream.
Big Dream.
Well, yeah, you can go and introduce yourself, Jay, if you really want to.
Yeah.
You know, gotta.
What shit is Big Dream? You feel me? Really, Donald, really Junior, whatever the fuck you feeling is nice. You feel me? But yeah, we out here on the What the Fuck podcast. You feel me? Hell yeah, we popping on.
Have to. So yeah, just to kind of, just the history behind it. A long time ago, when I started the podcast a few months ago, Junior, he was telling me, in order for me to get on your podcast, you need to get up to episode 7. So here we are, episode fucking 7. Let's go.
7 is that number, you feel me? Yes, 7 sir. Is that number for sure.
Oh, and I'm not going to have my phone, so I'm going to be fidgeting all with the other shit on the table, so bear with me. But yeah, dude, honestly, I'm so fucking excited to get this in finally. It's been a minute and we've been talking about it for like weeks.
Yeah, we've literally been trying to get here, sit down and record it. Like he's had episode 6 out for a little minute.
Facts.
And shout out my boy, cause he hasn't dropped no episode 7 waiting for this one. You feel me? So now we here.
Yeah, and I wanted this one to be the best one, honestly. Cause with the last one, I used the fucking face cam, but with this one we're going all out, and I have to for Big Dream. So.
And not trust. Kaiden's gonna be moving straight into the videos too, like more videos, just because this is what I know y'all trying to see and fuck with. You know what I'm saying? So,
facts.
Yeah.
Facts. We're just gonna fucking spark up. Just gonna get into it. So, met this fool 6th grade English, Miss Lee's, right?
Miss Lee's, bro. Hell yeah. Well, yeah, so I was already cool with Elias a little bit.
Right.
So y'all started connecting too because y'all would live right here in the same neighborhood, right? So that's how y'all got connected, and then just boom, mutuals right there. Then we started talking. But yeah, Miss Lee, we definitely had a little class right there. 6th grade, bro. That shit crazy.
Yeah. That's funny. Bro, I remember, we always talk about it, but bro, Miss Lee's class was fire.
Miss Lee, shout out Miss Lee.
Like, I remember reading all those books and shit, and honestly, this shit was so fun, bro. Just looking back on it, you know what I mean?
Bro, honestly, literally, I fucked with those books so heavy, like, I'll even go back and look up books that we read just because, like, I don't know. And they're simplistic, too, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, you need to be some fucking mastermind and be reading these. Nah, bro, they shit they reading you at school. It's like, I don't know, it's just nice little stories. I feel like people need to end up paying attention to the deeper meanings and shit instead of just like being like, oh, we got free time off doing actual work in class or some shit. You know what I mean?
And it's weird because I talked to like other people about it, and like they had other people that had alts, bro. They had this weird curriculum, like it was like structured and like just how it usually is. But in Miss Lee's class, I felt like she didn't really have a structure for it. She kind of just went in. And we did our thing, and like she honestly gave us a lot of leeway, especially our class, bro. Because I remember we'd fuck around a lot.
Well, yeah, bro. She was young too, you know what I mean? Like Miss Lee was still pretty young. She's probably also not trying to be just like a total just rude teacher. She probably knows how it is too, you know what I mean? And
facts. And
she was cool with the other teacher that I felt was like that too, Mr. Verity, until like all that shit happened. You feel me? If you from around here, you know. Shit.
Bro, we have to get into that. Can we? We can. I don't give a fuck. It's fucking public knowledge.
Public knowledge.
Bro, so our old English teacher, I don't think you had Verity. You had Martin, didn't you?
I had Verity.
Okay, yeah. So our old science and English teacher, low-key had an affair.
Allegedly. Okay, like we're not saying anything's for show. We're just speculating. Like, what? Come on, bro. We don't want to get sued.
Yeah, allegedly, our English teacher and our science teacher had an affair. I only say that because, I was Miss Lee's, like, TA in 8th grade. So, I had somewhat of a relationship with her. I had her basically 2 years in middle school. So like when I'd see them around, like they were more than just friends. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yo, they would go eat lunch together. Like they would just be kicking it all the time. You know what I mean? Like me being an adult now, like boom boom, like you feel me? You at work with a female, blah blah blah. Like, yeah, I totally understand, bro.
Yeah.
But but bro ended up getting fired for real.
Yeah.
Do we get into that?
Yeah, we have to.
So we're gonna say
people wanna
allegedly,
know.
but if you really look into it, it's not so allegedly. You feel me? But apparently he wasn't even supposed to be teaching because bro had a relationship with one of his past students, and I guess it was all consensual because like she was over the age of 18. But the way
I think it was like
how
a
he was the
softball coach or something.
no, it was like I think it was she was a senior and he was one of her teachers in Washington or some shit.
Right.
And so he started messing with her, but just being a student and a teacher, that's where it's a no-go. So
right.
he was supposed to lose his license all around. I guess they didn't do a good background check hiring him over here.
Yeah.
Got him a job when they found that out. Fuck it. Fired his ass. Booted him.
That's funny. He was also my 7th grade football teacher. So that happened after 6th grade. Pretty sure. Like when he got fired, basically.
Yeah.
Because he was my 7th grade football teacher or football coach.
It was like.
So I'm pretty sure it was like 7th grade.
It was like 8th, I think.
Fuck, I don't know. But it was definitely after 6th grade when all that shit came out, and it was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. All the boys knew. We all knew. I mean, honestly, I don't know, bro. I really don't know.
Honestly,
I can't speak out my ass.
Honestly, I would have thought some shit came out with Mr. Davies before my nigga Verity, bro. Like, yeah, like what the fuck? That nigga was tripping.
Was tweaking.
Yeah,
bro.
Like, the whole female basketball team could
and
tell
volleyball.
You. Both teams could tell you, boy. Hell yeah.
Who the fuck made that nigga the coach? That's all I'm saying.
Dumbass McPherson and Smith. Lame asses.
Bro,
they won't let Miss T
wild.
even fucking work at Sage no more. So that's why I was fucking on.
Yeah, that's crazy. Times have definitely changed, no doubt. Especially with like the school, the whole school curriculum. I mean, I hear about it. I don't know too much, but going back like in middle school, I'm pretty sure it was a little bit different. I've
been hearing shit's changing.
A little different, but
the ways how I've been hearing shit changing, bro, is because I've been hearing kids don't even be going to school on Fridays no more type shit. Basically all this shit that we didn't get. But honestly, fool, just the way how school system set up right now, been set up, it's been fucked. You feel me? Like it's not really too better the students for it, or like too better the next generation for it, I feel like, because just the way how the teachers go about it, it's not like they want to really get this message across to the kids, you know what I mean? They're just trying to meet the time frames that they got to get the students to basically know about something, to get a test done and pass it. But really what? Then you learn about all that shit, get the test done, on to the next. You forget about that shit. You know what I mean? Like all that shit, nigga, they won't even teach about taxes for real like that.
I know.
Just off common knowledge. That should just be common knowledge.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
they should be teaching us that every year, rather than teaching us like, you know, how to do algebra one way, and then next year you learn how to do it another way. Like maybe I'm tripping, but
well, bro, they want to create workers.
Right. Well, I know, like, yeah, and that's another thing that's crazy that people don't really understand, is that the curriculum was based off of like when like Rockefeller was around and shit like that. You know what I mean? When they were running the monopolies. So, and they say monopolies are illegal, but that's not true, obviously.
Well, I'd say it is, but there's just the loopholes around shit, you know what I mean? And that's the way how it is with everything.
Because I forgot to put it in airplane mode. At least my phone.
Did it?
Did it turn off or no?
It's still recording, but hold on.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Cool. Yeah, niggas is definitely calling.
And shout out Doughboy to Productions. He's he won't make it in the fucking frame, but just know, shout out my nigga. Yeah, most def. Fucking it's been a minute. And we've been trying to get this shit done, so I'm so happy that we're here and we're getting it done. So we can get it out.
Nice ass day outside today too.
Yeah. Perfect little backdrop. My mom's garden, so shout out my mom too. Shit. No doubt. Couldn't do it without my mom, bro.
Yeah. Shit, bro. After middle school, well, really throughout middle school, other than 6th grade, what other classes did we have for real?
Fuck.
Because
something I don't know.
Because we would kick it a little bit type shit, you feel me? We would kick it a little bit, but I feel like it was because, like, Joe most of the time.
Yeah.
But I would still fuck with you and all that, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I remember one of the first times we for real kicked it outside of school was over at the schools, Sage Valley and Desert, and Zamian was there, and Brian was there, and
yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. I don't remember that exact moment.
Really?
But I do just remember, well, because, bro, you know how my memory is fucked up, bro. But, I do remember, us going over there a lot, you know what I mean? And just, like, after school, just being like, hey,
balling up, doing whatever for real.
let's just come over and fucking do whatever. I mean, mainly fucking smoke, but.
Yeah.
But that's allegedly as well.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Everything is allegedly.
All fiction.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. Fuck. I was gonna say, well, cause after middle school we got into high school, and then I feel like that's when kind of it changed a lot. Not necessarily in terms of us hanging out, but in terms of like where you were heading type shit, like in life. You know what I mean? Like, cause obviously we all know you're like you're kind of you know in the music scene. You know what I mean? So I really like. Me, genuinely, we talk about it all the time, but it's really fascinating to me, like, how at such a young age, bro, you fucking just, you know, you had a plan and you just stuck with it, you know? And, like, like we were saying, almost 9-10 years later, here we are, and in our hometown, bro, you're like, you know, you're the man. And I feel like that's pretty dope. That's dope, you know what I mean? So,
to an extent, I would say for sure, like, to some, but then... Because also, like, it's always in the hometown, like, you gonna get love, but you also gonna get the most hate. You feel me?
Right.
Just because it's like, oh, niggas are thinking, like, oh, I'm from the same place as this fool. Like, why can't I be doing the same shit? But really, it's just, like how we be saying all the time, bro. Like, you could give out the information or whatever the fuck you need to do. And it's just people not acting on it, bro. You know what I mean? So, like, being out here... I don't know, it's cool, but for real, like, bro, when I'm, like, being out here, I don't know, I still just be feeling regular, dog. When I'm out in Texas, nigga, that's when I be feeling like a superstar, for real. Even though, like, not everybody's gonna be coming up to me saying, like, they know me, or, like how we was yesterday asking for pictures. But, bro, like, just out in Texas, dog, boom, just they be seeing me out doing shit where... They only seeing the important people doing shit, you know what I mean? So then it's like, then the whole time they're just wondering, like, who the fuck is this guy? And then there's just a bigger audience and it's all undiscovered, bro. I feel like out here, you try to promote yourself to anybody new, it might just, and they try to, and then you're thinking like, oh, this tree's gonna branch off and give me some more fans too. Hell no, it's just gonna go right back to the same people that I've heard it. So to, like, you can grow out here to an extent. And yeah, you can grow out a fan base and blah blah blah, but it's not gonna be worth it, really, especially with futile. The shit that I want to do. Yeah. Like, there's definitely, bro. Like right now, the biggest rapper out here is a Christian rapper, which is cool. Right. Curtis Hoppy, shout out Curtis Hoppy. But like, the biggest thing with that, bro, it's like he's meeting that fan base that's out here. You know what I mean? Right. A lot of people out here trying to blow up locally or even just underground, but they ain't even trying to find their audience for real. They're just trying to promote themselves to anybody, which is not the way to go. Like, you definitely want to promote yourself to everybody, but you got to be smart about it, dog.
Yeah. And that's something that we talk about a lot, that people, I guess, like, not necessarily struggle with. But, I mean, I'm sure promotion's hard. I mean, I don't fucking know, you know. But it's just, like, the way I see it is, like, I guess we'll just touch back on it. Like, bro, you know, you did drop out and stuff like that. So, like, but, like, the thing that's so fascinating to me and that what I point out to other people is, like, I mean, you can drop out, but if you want to drop out, you have to have something in mind, like a goal in mind. And that's what you had, you know, like, freshman year.
Not even a goal, bro, but I feel like No, yeah, bro. I've been wanting to be a rapper since elementary, bro.
Yeah,
like you know
that's
what I
crazy.
mean. Like I've been wanting like, one of the homies I grew up with, whose mom is like my second mom, bro. Fuck, dog. I remember I have a vivid memory of me being inside of their kitchen. And I'm telling them, I'm like, I'm gonna be the next biggest MC. Right. That's how young I was, and that's like the only shit I knew about being a rapper is people was calling them MCs. So I was like, I'm gonna be the next biggest MC. And like, they probably like, no hate on them. Like, they're so much love to them. They like my family. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%.
But at that time, they're just hearing this little ass kid saying that shit, and so like they're just like, oh yeah, haha, type of thing. You know what I mean? But shit, bro, like I've had my mind set on that shit for so long, bro. And it got to a point where I kept saying like I wanted to be a rapper, but I had no songs out. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? How the fuck do I want to be a rapper if I got no music out? So there was 2 beats that I had in mind, bro, that I just wanted to hop on. I was like, fuck it. Just recorded some 2 trash-ass freestyles just so I could have some shit out there. Just so I could just start motioning towards the goal. You know what I mean? Just so I could start moving in that direction. Right. Because if I'm not doing anything, bro, how the fuck do I want to be there? You know what I mean? So, boom, started doing that. People in school definitely clowning it. They're like, oh, I'm like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, bro, this was 7th grade. Hair. This was 7th grade when I first dropped music.
Right.
Like Tyler, like all the this is when I would really kick it with like Tyler, Mark, blah blah blah. But yeah, bro, people coming up like that's not it, bro, blah blah blah. Like some people was like egging it on, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, like I fuck with it, but really it's shit. Like I know it's shit.
Right.
But
I mean, you've been making videos since you were like even.
I was trying to be a YouTuber too, bro.
Right,
Hell yeah.
Right. So
I've always been trying to get at.
There's
that
definitely
shit
receipts. There's definitely receipts for like you trying to make something. You know.
Bro,
what I mean?
I have an old Facebook page with the homie I said I grew up with. Me and him started it when we was sometime in elementary school, bro. We was trying to just be like some funny ass like little page on Facebook type shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, bro. Yeah. I've always been trying to do that shit for real. So just because it's like, why the fuck not? If it's possible, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like you've always had that mentality, even in 6th grade, like how we begun this freaking podcast. You've always just thought outside the box, and I think I've told you that like a lot. You know, you've always been someone I come to for questions like outside the norm. You know what I mean? Like whether that's for like physical, whether that's for like tech stuff. It's just fascinating, how much you know, even though you did drop out. You know what I mean?
Yes, perfect segue, because I wanted to go back to that. Right. With dropping out, like, I don't even think it's so much that you need a plan, bro, but I think a big part of it, too, is just having, like, a certain extent of, like, understanding and, like, education. You know what I mean? Just, like, because some people, they'll be trying to... When I was... By the time I dropped out, there was a long period of time that I've been wanting to drop out, but it's legally not able to until you're 16. You know what I mean? So, like, for the longest, I've been wanting to quit school, dog, or, like, start online or do whatever, but I was not able to. So, like, oh, fuck. My high ass.
You're good.
What the fuck was I saying?
Fuck. I'm high, too, but,
no, boy, what was I saying?
Dropping out of school at 16.
Okay.
Legal age.
Yeah, look. You need a sense of, like, understanding with shit and, like, education, bro. Just because I've had people try telling me the same shit I used to say, which is, like, oh, I already have my plan. Like, I know what I need to do in life, what I need to know, what I need to learn, and I'm going to do that, and I don't need school to do that. And, like, I already know certain knowledge that school taught me, which was great, and now I could go from here without it.
Yeah.
But people have tried telling me that same shit, but at the same time, they're using fucking Siri speech to text to type.
Right.
They don't even know how to spell simple-ass words, and it's like, bro,
fuck.
You can't be telling me that you want to do the same shit, like drop out, when you don't even be knowing how to do certain simple shit.
Right. And, I've talked to people like that who have graduated. That's the sad part.
Same, bro. I mean? And growing up, that's one thing I've seen, and that shit surprised me.
Right.
Because it's like, how the fuck? Like,
I mean, it sucks, but...
Wow, it's just crazy, bro.
It's like, what are they teaching in school, really? That's my question.
And
that's really my question for, like, I guess, like, for this little, like, part of whatever, this conversation. Like, it's like, what are they teaching in school is my question,
bro. Just the other day,
it's ridiculous.
I had a customer telling me about how his son, because I told him how I dropped out. He's like, oh yeah, I had a son that dropped out and he's doing better than the one that has a college degree. Mm-hmm. And it's just like that sometimes, you know what I mean, dog? Like, when you go, like, school, if you go to school and finish it, there's nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? I'm not fucking gonna say, like, oh, the fuck are you doing finishing school, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Some careers you definitely have to go to school, and if you want to go for that career, go for it, you feel me? Like, but there's certain careers that you don't have to. And I feel like the people who, like, try to bring people down for not finishing school or just not going the same path as other people, they need to, like, chill out, you feel me? Because they're thinking such, like, a older school mentality, you know what I mean? Like, when you talk to, say, like, someone's grandma or, like, someone's parents or some shit, they don't see, like, all the money to be made in computers and online. Mm-hmm. A lot of them do, but a lot of them don't, you know what I mean? And it's the same way with the younger generation, too, just because, like, I don't know.
Right.
Some people just see, like, certain shit, like, oh, fucking, you ain't gonna be shit, you ain't gonna do shit if you don't do the same way how I'm fucking gonna do it. Like, okay, the fuck?
Yeah. And, I got in a conversation with my parents, and it's just, like, really what it is, like, it's just, like, what your parents were taught. What you're
taught, exactly.
And, it just goes down the line.
Yeah.
And I feel like that makes a big difference in, like, people's, like, everyday life, because, like, what they learn as a kid, is what, they get taught by their parents.
Exactly.
And what they were taught was by their parents, and so on and so forth. So it's just, like, we have to open our minds up to, like, different things rather than, like, what our parents teach us,
Exactly,
know? And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say what my parents taught me, like, back in the day was wrong. Mm-mm. And was bad, but because I think I had a great childhood.
Yeah, you definitely want to take pieces and parts from what they teach you, but then you also want to make your own conclusion of stuff. You know what I mean? What I'm super grateful for is that my family's always been super supportive with what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
When I wanted to do YouTube, boom, they're following it. When I wanted to do music, boom, they're with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything I really wanted to say, I wanted to do, they're with it. And so that's one of the reasons why, like, I'm always saying how I don't want to be one of those parents who's like, my dream was this, instead of saying, like, I'm living my dream right now. You know what I mean? I want to show my kid to be like, this shit's possible. Anything you really want to do, go for it.
Right.
It's not no little movie shit where it's like, oh, you have to be something, some character or whatever the fuck to have something like that crazy happen to you. You just got to put in that work for real.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. That's great. Like, bro, that's why I wanted you on this podcast, because I feel like you have a lot of insight on, like, the world, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people are stuck in, like, social media and, like, just, like, shit online when, like, we have the real world out here, you know what I mean? People are stuck inside, just not doing much.
The biggest issue with that, well, like, the scrolling, people get addicted to the scrolling, but the biggest thing, bro, is people compare themselves to people online, you know what I mean? They'll be seeing all these lifestyles or
that's what it really is.
People doing anything, and then they're like, I want that lifestyle for myself, or whatever it may be, bro. It's like they start comparing their lives to these people online, but at the same time, you got to think about it. These people online, bro, paint the picture they want you to see.
Yeah.
They're not just going to always show everything, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to really do what they want to look good, or, like, what they want to put out.
Right.
And, I don't know, lots of facade.
Yeah, the facade goes crazy on social media. Yeah, and I feel like that's affecting the new generation in a weird way, because, like, they're, they see the real life and how, like, kind of fucked up it is. I mean, life has its good and bad, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's got to, the yin and yang.
Right, the yin and yang effect, if you will. But it's just, like, I feel like, because with us, like, we kind of grew up with social media, kind of, but, like, it was kind of being born when we were young, you know what I mean? So I feel like it affected us differently when we were growing up, rather than, like, how it is for, like, the new generation, you know what I mean? And I hope that it just, like, it doesn't, affect them in a weird way, because, I mean, we grew up with it kind of too, so I don't feel like it's going to cause any effect, but it is, like, a big talk, I feel like, and that's why I feel like, you know, schools need to step it up, because we're just gonna go online. Like, I feel like most parents are going online nowadays, and dude, I'd fucking salute them, because, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like what they're teaching now is crazy in, like, in America and shit. So, but yeah.
One thing I want to say
cool.
with just like the difference on us like growing up with technology compared to like the generation right now, bro, is I feel like our generation, since it was kind of still like becoming more popular as we were growing up and not like totally taken over yet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that we would still know the difference between like all right, the real world and like the internet and like blah blah blah, because now I feel like kids are just so overwhelmed with the internet. Like, they've got the internet at fingertips everywhere, where it's like, bro, even VRs, little kids getting VRs, they're gonna start not really giving that difference. You know how, bro, don't you remember in elementary school or middle school computer classes how much they pushed cyber security, being like, don't ever give out your real name, blah blah blah. I feel like, I don't know about now because I don't got no little siblings or nothing, but bro, I feel like that shit's not pushed, bro. Little kids are out in Roblox fucking ding, or little kids are doing all this little shit, bro. Like, just scrolling through YouTube Shorts, bro, you'll see little kids trying to act like adults. You feel me? And which has always been a thing. Little kids have always been like acting like adults, but with internet such at their fingertips, it's so easy for them to get exposed to that, bro. I feel like when I was young, I had to fucking stay up till 3 a.m., put on fucking a certain channel and wait for that Girls Gone Wild commercial, nigga, with the pink stars over their nipples, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me getting introduced to that, or fucking putting in a VCR from my dad's old shit and then fucking finding my first porno type shit. You know what I mean? Like, not fucking just opening up my phone and oh, titties, oh, ass, oh, all on fucking TikTok. Right there. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I mean, I always point out Joe Rogan, because that fool, I listen to that guy a lot, but he always talks about, like, how it was hard for, like, him back in the day to, like, get porn and shit. But, like, bro,
he probably had to get magazines and shit.
Bro,
you know what I mean?
They had to go to the back of the store, like, you know, where the beads were at. And then everyone gave you the stanky eye when you were going back there. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, like, I think it's so funny because, bro, that's how it really was. But not at the same time. You know what I mean? Because it was so easy for us to, like, just like have the internet, you know what I mean? I mean, we had like the flip phones, our fucking DSs could go on the internet, you know what I mean? So like, that's how I just like went on my DS, fucking porn, bro. Let's do it, you know what I mean?
Really?
Bro,
the first time
easily, like it was too easy.
Cause so the first time that I got onto like porn digitally like that, it was like late elementary school or like mid elementary school. Cause bro, I got into shit early on, dog. Like early on, bro. Like, think about it. My dad died when I was 7. The first time I ever watched the porno shit was before then, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, sometime before then, I had found my dad's shit. Like, one of my dad's shits.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, bro. So, like, early on, I just already knew about shit. My dad had a computer. I would go look up these Lady Gaga videos where she's like making out with this other girl, and I'd be like, holy shit, like, bitches kissing. That shit's making me feel some type of way, like, as a little jit. You know what I'm 100%. Saying? So, I don't know. When I first got into that digital shit, though, it was later on, and because we didn't really so much have smartphones like that, and I had computers, but it's not like I was looking all that up besides the music videos. Like, I wasn't full blown just looking shit up or finding shit, you know what I'm saying? Like my way of finding it was, I'm telling you, I would stay up late night and watch that Girls Gone Wild shit. But bro, when I did finally start going onto it digitally, nigga, I didn't know shit about clearing history, none of that, bro. So nigga, not even closing tabs, bro. So I would just literally give back the phone with the tab still open. Like, you just gotta fucking swipe up on the shit and see fucking, you're gonna see it right there. And they're like, holy, like, yeah, I got bitched at early on for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I remember fucking in elementary school, growing up in Boise, fucking kids just looking it up and then it just coming back, you know, to them because, like, you know, they had like the keywords or whatever. And then, you know, you'd spend fucking couple days in school suspension, you know, fucking writing essays about how, you know, how easy it is to look up fucking, you know, that shit. But honestly, I feel like nowadays, it's... I don't even know how to explain it. I feel like now it's not as taboo necessarily, like sex. You know what I mean? Or just like
even
genitals or just everything, like all the
it's
above.
definitely
you know
not.
what I mean?
But like, I feel like it's almost to the extent where it's almost too less of a taboo. Like, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like too open. Like,
Right.
like and no hate to the LGBT community. I'm supportive all the way for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's just like, I don't know. There's definitely certain people out there who try to force it upon the kids. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it's not.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just
no doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, and it's not nothing wrong with like trying to teach about that. Like I was taught as a young age that there was gay people and all
like,
that. You know what I mean?
Homo
but
versus hetero.
it wasn't
the
ever
whole thing.
like so pushed on me where it was like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was letting me known that it's okay, like to not be like discriminative towards it at all.
Right.
But like it's not gonna be like overly pushed where it's how I almost feel like some parents are nowadays.
Yeah, and it's weird because like I don't know. It's just it really is pushed on like it really is pushed a lot, and like you said, no hate. Like I'm not trying to hate on it, but I feel like especially in this country and like a lot of other Western countries, it's pushed like so much where it's like now I kind of have to say something about it, or now I kind of have to be like, oh, you know what I mean? And I feel like I'm not trying to be Mr. like conspiracy theorist, but I kind of am at the same time. I feel like it's being pushed for a reason, bro. I feel like people people want you to be this way, or they want you to believe, and that's fine and that's okay, but like now we've gotten to the point where they want you to like realize it and like kind of like push it in your face, and it's like that's great, but we all have to live our own lives, I feel like, and at the same time like support our like friends and family and do all that. But I don't know why I segued from that, but
Nah,
bro, it's just ridiculous how much it is. And like you see it in universities. Like you can just look it up online, just look up protests and just like, I mean, Pride Month, woohoo, like let's go. And but like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I don't think like that really was a thing, you know what I mean? And yeah, we can celebrate it, but I feel like it is, we definitely need to slow down on the whole thing. Like for example, I guess like how Target and Bud Light, they're getting fucking flamed for putting a male, like a biologically male,
right. Yeah, like a kid
model
who,
in like a in a swim trunk, you know what I mean?
What was his name?
In like
Kid
a thong
Rock
or some shit. What?
What's that one like superstar who like said fuck Bud Light after they did that?
Oh yeah, Kid Rock. He just shot it with like a bunch of fucking he just shot it up.
Yeah.
When they did it with the Mulaney.
And that's like their main
lady.
fan base, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
you got to really be smart about moving with certain shit, but like at the same time, you got to think about it. It's just getting themselves involved into that, because if they would have never brought it up, it's not like anybody would have batted an eye like, oh, why isn't Bud Light showing out their support? That's what I mean by being forced. Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like, oh, now it has to be like pushed, like boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Which is, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with like the LGBT community at all, but it's just like being overly enforcing it is just crazy. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, then you talk to other people like from outside this country, and they say they'll probably say the same thing. They'll be like, I don't see anything wrong. I mean, not in like the Iranian countries.
Some people definitely will disagree for sure. They'll be,
but in most countries that understand like the Western like part of like the world, because of the internet, and like nowadays
right,
it's
and vice versa. Like some people over here just won't understand the way how they're living over there. You know what I mean? One thing I did want to go back to real quick is with dropping out.
Yeah.
How do you feel with going through school, like on the rest of the years? Like you think that was a good investment with your time, type of thing?
100%, because I mean with me, I need to stretch my fucking legs out real quick. But with me, I went on in school the rest of the way. I graduated and shit, but I got in trouble junior year. So, I mean, we don't have to like necessarily get into that now, but because that's a long story. But like, long story short, I got in trouble, and you know, I had to go to a different school. You know what I mean? And I learned a lot going to the school I went to senior year, the academy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like all the knowledge I learned that year was worth it. You know what I mean? Because like, I feel like for me, Ridgeview didn't really, I mean, yeah, it taught me a little bit, but I feel like the year and a half I spent at the academy, I learned most of the most important stuff. You know what I mean? There, because it was a small group, you know, with the teachers, so they had more time to like talk to you and like actually teach, you know, rather than at Ridgeview where you have a class of 32 kids and you know, you don't have time to have that one-on-one conversation of like how, like, you know, here, like, this is how you do it, or this is how you understand it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's how it is nowadays, and it's just like getting overpopulated, I know for sure, in schools, and like it's becoming a problem. You know what I mean? And not a lot of kids are getting that knowledge, like we were talking about earlier. You know what I mean? Like how to read a clock, or fucking
how to read a map,
or just do anything. And like, you know, I know they teach them in school, but are they learning is the question. You know what I mean? Are they learning? That's mainly the big question I want to ask. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I'm glad you say that it was a good investment with your time, because like, I don't know, I look back at it and sometimes I almost think of like memories I could have made going to high school, but at the end of the day, I'm still glad that I did drop out, just because what I invested with my time in was way more than what I could have gotten if I went to school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt like that would have taken up a lot of my time. With me going out of school, I was able to go out to Seattle,
right?
Work with a lot of people out there, meet Custom Girl 420, you know what I mean? Get more opportunities out there, get videos done with Sun Films, just get a whole lot done just for my career-wise, you know what I mean? And that's really when I started getting my momentum up. I just started fucking up, procrastinating on shit, slacking on shit, not posting, and then
playing Minecraft, you know,
type shit. Well, not even just that, but it's like I started taking longer and longer breaks in between each song. I was trying to act like I was already big, you know what I mean? Yeah. I was almost trying to just drop one song a month. Then I started fucking making it wider, and then eventually I just didn't post for 2 years, and it really killed out my momentum. Now is basically just trying to build that back, but I'm just glad I was able to even learn all that I was able to learn outside of school, you know what I mean? So I'm glad it was a good investment that you felt like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
then vice versa.
It is kind of similar, because like I was saying, it's like it is similar for me, because I learned a lot, like with like getting in trouble, you know, like with the cart, and like, you know, because they found a cart and like, oh, you gotta dip, you know what I mean? Because that's drugs on the campus. So so, you know, after that I learned a lot about, you know, because I got put on probation and shit like that, so I had to, you know, get my shit together, you know. And that's kind of how it was similar, you know, when you say you had like the drought, if you will, you know what I mean? So after I got put on probation, I had to fucking get my shit together, bro. You know what I mean? So it is kind of similar, but sometimes I do wish like I dropped out and maybe like pursued something else. But honestly, I'm glad because I made a lot of relationships in high school, and I feel like the relationships I made in high school are going to be important. Maybe not now, but maybe like later in life, you know, when this person is you know, doing this, and you know, we can connect once, like, you know, businesses start like popping up, you know what I mean, and we all get older and we all start becoming more successful, because, you know, that's just the way it goes, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, especially because like going down that path that you did, like now you're thinking this way, you know what I'm saying? Like say if you were thinking early on, oh, I could just drop out and then not have a plan ready or some shit, and then you kind of just get lost in that sauce of like trying to just figure out what to do earlier on, boom, you could have ended up not even having ever thinking this mindset until later on, because boom, that drought could have been so much bigger, you know what I mean? But going that way, I feel like it was definitely the better way to go, because then you were able to get those learning experiences that you needed, you know what I mean? It's like that fork in the road that could have said it one way or another.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I think it definitely went that better way for sure.
No doubt, bro. And that's why I feel like with a lot of people, you know, I feel like maybe I'm tripping, or maybe I'm being too judgmental or whatever, but I feel like with a lot of people, they have failures, you know, and they focus too much on the failures, you know, and that's why I made this podcast, because it's like, we can talk about our failures, like that's okay, like, you know, we all slip up, you know. I feel like there is no perfect person, like we hear that all the time, you know what I mean? And I feel like living in America, you know, we want to have this perfect idea, like, in this perfect image of a person, but like with Hollywood and everything, you know what I mean, they it's just not reality.
It's the comparing on
yeah,
Instagram.
exactly, boom, exactly. It's just not reality, you know what I mean? And it's just it's frustrating when people, you know, mistake, you know, like, his or her truth, if you will, you know what I mean? It's like, we got to focus on the truth, and like what we have to do to make sure the next generation is good, you know what I mean? And I feel like nowadays, like, current term, we have, like, you know, wars, and it just doesn't matter, but in terms of our conversation, but like, we have wars in, you know, like, in the Middle East, we have wars just over there, like, still, bro, like, what are we doing? Like, really, what are we doing? Like, we were born in the war, you know what I mean? And I feel like, well, like, we can't focus on the next generation if we're still, you know, focusing on resources and all that stuff. I feel like we're like, us as a species is like, we have to, like, focus on, you know, the next generation. And I feel like, you know,
I get what you're saying, but I don't know. War has always been going on. You feel me? Like, I feel like the biggest difference from war that's always been going on compared to now is that it's always been a bigger deal before. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Right now, like, it's kind of pushed under the covers. Other news stories always get pushed over the real, like, bigger news stories just to kind of be the ploy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Before
propaganda
type, yeah. But like, even just cover ups. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like. A big story is going to happen, but the news is going to be talking about the fucking cookie shop having a sale. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's like, they just don't want to push certain shit. Mm-hmm. But like, before, dog, it's like, shit, you had the whole hippies protesting against the fucking, like, Vietnam War. Yeah. Planes landing, all these fools are there, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Which is still a big thing. There's still protests going on to this day, like, for Israel and Palestine, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's less really talked about now. Now more people are more focused about just shit that's going on here right now. You know what I mean? Just here, not really focused about the war, unless they're kind of getting involved into that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or have family involved 100%. Into that. Mm-hmm. That's the only time really they're end up caring.
Yeah, and you do bring up a good point with, like, bringing up Nam and stuff, because, I mean, I feel like almost every decade there's a war, you know, there's a new war here, there's a new war there, so it's just, like, I feel like it's about time, you know, we make peace, you know what I mean? But it's just, it's frustrating because, you know, people still focus on, you know, whether his opinion or her opinion is greater, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, there's always going to be that, though, just based off what we were talking about earlier with the yin and yang, you know what I mean? There's always going to be that difference, always going to be that two sides where on one side this person's right and that person's wrong, but on this side that person's wrong and this person's right, you know what I'm saying? So it's just always the yin and yang, bro. That's, like, the best way I could really say it is it needs that difference. Like, war is not, like, the greatest, but fuck, dog, like,
yeah,
it's either that or, like, a certain type of peace tries to happen, then that's just gonna break down too. It's just, it's almost inevitable, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the only reason why I kind of, like, bring it up is because, like, you know, we're talking about school and, like, the next generation and stuff like that, and I feel like, you know, we kind of grew up with, you know, video games and, like, you know, just the concept of war and death, like, so much, and I feel like that's changed, like, our perspective of how we see life, rather than like how our grandparents were, you know, when World War II just kind of ended and, you know, it was peaceful for a while, you know, like, so I feel like with our generation we have to, like, you know, kind of focus on, you know, the greater good of what we have now, and like, you know, focus on the, like, not only the next generation but, you know, the generations to follow after, and that's just kind of why I brought it up, you know what I mean? And I feel like it being an election year this year, you know, who knows what's going to happen. I don't know fucking what's going to happen, you know, but I just find it interesting, you know, a lot of people, like you said, like, bring up that facade and just, you know, kind of shape reality to like how they want to see it rather than how it really is type shit. So it's just interesting to me how people act nowadays, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, it's just interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
But bro, I can't believe it's been fucking 40 minutes already. That's pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie.
43 for sure.
That's pretty wild. I'm excited, dude, honestly. Like that's why I wanted to do a podcast, like I said before, because it's just like we get into a conversation and it's just so easy to just talk about whatever, bro. Like whatever topic, whatever is clever, Yeah. It's lit. And I always, give that respect to you because you always pushed me to start the podcast, and now I really do enjoy doing it. And people come up to me all the time and ask, when's the next episode, or they say like, oh, you have a nice voice for a podcast, and I get more compliments because I do this, and because I work towards a goal. And that's something you've always told me, like, since freaking the dawn of time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
what's the main thing I was telling you, bro? Just do it, you know what I mean? Because like people always gonna be saying, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, or say certain plans they have but never end up just following through, bro. And then they might make excuses for this or that, whatever the fuck it may be. But really it's just you got to get up and do it, bro.
Yeah.
You just got to start it. And I almost had to get you to like even want to start it, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to like be like, all right, Kaiden, like we gonna cook up the logos, we gonna do all this, blah blah blah, and we gonna get it.
Yeah, because I didn't really know what to do, and on that, like I felt like I couldn't do it. That's really what it was. I felt like I couldn't do it, but after, because I got a computer for a reason, right? And that's why I got into that drought, where I was like, I don't want to work towards something because I have to go to work and I'm too tired, but it got to the point where I was like, if you want to do something, because we'd always talk about, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, or just do anything, we bounce off different ideas, you know what I mean? And like that's just something I feel like people need to focus on, and that's something that a lot of people do talk about is like making idea, like being an engineer for your life, like just shaping how you really want to live. And that's something they taught us in school, but I'm asking, like, they didn't really, you know what I mean? Because we see like the factory workers, if you will, and like they're not really necessarily living their best life,
Right.
And it just it blows, it sucks that that's just reality, and it is what it is. But it's,
let me ask you this: what made you think you couldn't do it when you said that's why you didn't like want to get started into it?
Because I didn't have, like, in my mind, I felt like I didn't have enough time to learn, like, I need to learn how to edit the podcast, and I need to learn how to like set everything up, and I need to learn how to do this, like just do like the whole thing, you know what I mean? Like just the process of doing a podcast, the process of becoming like, a performer or becoming a comedian, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I felt like yeah, I want to do that, but I didn't really believe I could too. Like I didn't really have like that confidence either, at the time. But that's why I applaud you, because you really did push me. You really did, call me out of the blue and be like, so what's going on with the podcast? Like, are we what are we doing? You know what I mean? Because we made the podcast, and then it took me like a month or two to even get an episode out. You know what I mean? So
right.
That's why I always applaud you as a person I can look up to, because you were always a person that could sit there and yep, I understand what you mean, and this is how we're gonna solve it. Like this is how we're gonna do it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And whether it was making a podcast or whether it was just a simple thing. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm happy we got this podcast out, because I feel like not to be a glazer or anything, like just I need to make sure I give you your flowers. Because without you, this wouldn't be possible, bro. I really do believe that.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
Nah, I definitely think it could have been a thing. It just, you might have just prolonged it longer than if I would have just held back, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I definitely think you could have just ended up getting into it. The biggest thing is like how you say with you're thinking you might have not had enough time that's one big problem with a lot of people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, say it's just once you're in that work loop, and I know how it is too, and I just know the like psychology behind it, bro. Once you're in that work loop, you think the free time after, you have to use that free time with like being as comfortable or like doing whatever you really want, and like to normally just get your mind off things, because you know as soon as that free time ends, you're going to bed, you're waking up, going back to work. You know what I mean? And so your brain just subconsciously thinks that, and where you get into that, all right, work, get home, do a certain activity that I like doing, boom, go to bed, boom, 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 or vice versa. Like you do it before you go to work or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw it with Denise, I saw it just with other people too, and I've even gotten stuck into that loop. And I'll say like, whenever I'm into that spot, that's when I'll be like, fuck, dog, I feel myself getting stuck into that loop. Yeah. Because I'm, boom, get home, hop on the game or some shit, go to bed, wake up, boom, I'm at work. Yeah. And just that's one thing with the time. People really have the time, bro. It's just, what are you going to invest that time to? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to invest it into something you're comfortable doing all the time right now that's probably not helping you grow, but it's just comfortable, so it's you're just fine being there? Or are you going to try to just start going for the rest of the shit? Try to really start that other stuff so you could leave that work behind and even have more time, you know what I mean? Replace that work with this work, and then you still have that free time to do the other stuff. Yeah.
And that's something that I feel like I couldn't do. Like that reminds me. I feel like I couldn't have two jobs, you know what I mean? I feel like I couldn't separate like my time, you know, because I was so taken up with, you know, the 12-hour shifts or the 10-hour shifts, you know, 4 or 5 days a week. But it's just like, you know, that was my mindset, you know what I mean? But
exactly, it
took you to pull me out of those weeds and to tell me like, hey, you can have two jobs, bro. It doesn't take a lot of time to like start something like this.
Well, it's not even just that, bro.
Or just start something you enjoy.
It's just eliminate the distractions, bro. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're saying, oh, like I get you, like, oh yeah, the 12-hour shifts was definitely crazy for sure, especially with what you was doing, boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? How you said when you started the salesman job, you were like, bro, finally I get to talk to people. I felt like I was just talking to machines. I get that 100%, but at the same time, it's like, it was also to do with like, you didn't want to give up that piece of like playing the video games or like watching certain shows when you get home. You know what I mean? It's like, you still wanted to be able to do that when you get home. So you're like, well, that's why you couldn't have fully two jobs, because you still wanted that time to have that. But really, dog, like, that's the biggest thing, bro. You really got to eliminate all that for a bit and really just lock in, bro. And even when you lock in, bro, it's still going to be work on work for a little minute. Right. Which sucks, because when I think about it, it's like, damn, I'm really not going to have that chill time like how I did when I first dropped out and I was slacking on that music. That time, that's why I'm glad I learned on that time, because I wasted that time right there. And then now I'm like, nah, fuck all that. Yeah. Like, I already wasted some time, and now I'm like, nah, I can't waste no more, because I can't ever get that time back, bro. Yeah. So it's like, you got to really just... Bro, I would be spending hours and hours on the game, dog. Like,
same.
I would be at work thinking about going home and like certain shit I want to do on the game, and it's like,
bro, even recently with like the VR, like, cause like we, you know.
Yep, exactly, and
whatever.
And, bro, even just getting stuck into those little zones, it's like fuck, because all that time that you're getting home thinking about doing boom, 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 busting out. We could be busting out so many posts. We could be working on so many things. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just eliminating certain shit for now. Giving it certain shit, and like I said, bro, once you're able to replace the 9 to 5 with the 5 to 9, make that like the full time, bro, then that's when you are able to have those little free times to enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? Shit that you earn. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how my brother's always telling me too, because I'm always telling him how I'm just always trying to work. You know what I mean? How I'm just always trying to get shit done. Like, oh, 1 project, 2 project, 3 project, different shit I'm trying to get done. He's like, look. Or even, like, say they try to invite me to a family gathering. I'm telling them, like, bro, I'm going to be feeling like I'm not getting nothing done, blah, blah, blah. He's like, it's okay, like, to have some days off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's okay to, like, treat yourself sometimes, and which is 100%, but it's like, fuck, at least start moving towards that. You know what I mean? Some people just get stuck in that mindset, like how, like, a lot of people out here, bro, just need that dreamy to them. You know what I'm saying? That person fucking just pulling them out of the gutter like that for real.
Like,
What
act
were
like
we
didn't have
saying?
This conversation.
Yeah, what were we saying?
You guys were just talking about like how, like you said, you could have some days off and it's okay. And
Oh yeah. Like it's our like, bro. You just want to always be putting like working towards something. You know what I mean? If you're not working towards something, that's how you really get stuck in that mindset. Like a lot of these people out here, bro. Just like how you were saying, how I was able to help you get you out of that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just need that dreamy to them. You know what I'm saying? That person just really pushing them to get out because, yeah, bro. Some problems it is out of some people's hands though, bro. Like, especially if people just keep trying. Like, say like almost to an extent with you, bro. I was honestly gonna stop. Like, I was almost gonna stop. Like trying to push it on you because it just gets to an extent where it's like, how do you want to help someone if they don't want to help themselves?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, they try to push people too, and then they might just end up going down the wrong path and getting too far for you to save. You know what I'm saying? Which sucks, but there's definitely a way to come out of it. Everybody just needs someone to be patient with them, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and really just push it on them.
Mm-hmm. And like, it's interesting you bring up like, you know, we always talk about how we, especially nowadays, we need to start using up our time, like rather than, you know, using like you just, you know, and it just brings up an interesting like perspective because like are you gonna waste that time like, you know, trying to push me to follow my dream if I'm not even, you know, if I'm not even working towards that, you know what I mean? And that's something that it sucks for other people that they don't have that kind of person, you know, and it does suck. It really does, but I feel like people need to start, you know, going out and meeting people, you know, and that's something that we've been talking about a lot recently is like, you know, actually going out and, you know, making relationships and stuff like that, and not to like, you know, not to just make relationships to make relationships, but to make relationships, you know, for, you know, a greater cause, you know what I mean, and not just to, you know, like how like in high school we just you know the most people, or you just be the cool guy, or you just be you know whatever, right. And it's just I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's definitely still like little gatherings. I've seen like one time, I think it was me and you, bro, when we rode to the Cactus Bar. They had a whole little like meeting event where people just came to meet new people like in the city. You know what I mean? Like all these people probably just moved here. They're all trying to just meet new people that they could know in town and shit. So it's definitely going on a little bit, but I get what you're saying. I feel like with some of it has to do with is basically
mishap, a little what do they call it?
No, but so I feel like everybody needs someone to be pushing them. You know what I'm saying? So, and like certain gatherings are going, bro. But the thing I hate about the Idaho air is what I'll say.
Right.
And it's like this a lot of places too, but I'm saying that specifically because like we from here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I feel like everybody's gonna be saying this about their hometown, but people want to be seeing you doing good, but not better, and that's the biggest problem, bro. Like there's not enough people out here really wanting to see people win, like genuinely be happy to see people win. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'll deadass get goosebumps or like just get so glad for someone for them accomplishing something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, same.
Because it's just like, nigga, that's fucking what's up, bro. Like, you're moving towards something, you want to get something done, and you're doing it, dog. Yeah. And that's so much, like, I applaud you, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that's why I love biopics, that's why I love dramas, seeing people overcome a situation and, like, make the best out of it, like, and overcoming whatever problems they had, bro. It's like, I love to see that story. Instead of just, like, the story where everything's all happy and rainbows and shit just gets handed, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like to see that shit where there's that conflict that they got to go through and solve it, nigga, and fucking come out on the other end victorious.
Yeah. And these cigarettes, sometimes I have to smoke cigarettes, you know. It's just something that, you know, fuels me. And, you know.
My nigga Will from the UK will understand.
Yeah, you know, cigarettes, they give me, I roll my own cigarettes, but, you know, something that tobacco gives me, you know, it's so sensational.
Right.
Yeah. I just had to say that because I'm not sponsored by any tobacco company, but if they do want to sponsor me,
Shit.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah. What's something else you want to talk about before we end up leaving, bros?
Oh, I want to talk about at least, how, because you opened up for, what is it, Lil Wayne and Sexy Red. I want, just before we leave right quick, I just want you to just, like, kind of explain how that experience was, being in front of all those people and, having to have a role to, to perform and to, like, do the best you can do, you know what I mean?
Right. Nah, bro, that shit was lit, honestly. Like, bro, the first show, which was the Lil Wayne one last year, that shit was just crazy. Like, so many people there, bro. Like, literally just crazy. Like, so many people I've seen in one room, dog. Shit was insane. Fucking when Wayne came out, fool, that was like the loudest I've heard a group of people scream type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit just fucking deafened into the ears. Like, that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
But even just going out to the crowd, bro, I just treated it like another show. You know what I mean? I feel like you always get that little sense of like nervousness to an extent,
Yeah.
especially with me like first starting out.
Like butterflies in your stomach.
A little bit, but it's almost like when you're getting pulled over by a cop, bro, and it's
Yeah.
just like, oh fuck, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's not the oh fuck. It's like, oh shit. It's like you're about to go on a roller coaster or some shit, like boom. But I definitely feel like I'm gonna eventually get past that. It's just because I'm still starting out, you know what I mean? So it's still me just ooh boom boom boom.
Mm-hmm.
But bro, just going out, still just doing my thing. It sucks because I want the boys to be out there with me, being on stage, you know what I'm saying? Like, have people hype on stage. So I was out there on stage by myself trying to get the crowd lit, but you got to think about it too, bro. The crowd's been there for 4 hours waiting for Wayne. So they're a tough crowd too, but what I loved about the Lil Wayne show and even the Sexy Red show was throughout the different songs that I go through, you see different groups in the crowd turning up.
Right.
So, like, it's just showing how I could reach different audiences. You're seeing, like, older dudes turn up, younger girls, like, all these different songs. They're reaching all these different people's, like, ears.
Yeah.
Some people might not fuck with this first song, but they might fuck with this second song. You know what I'm saying? And
I don't know. I kind of bring it up because, I've performed on stage, but I've never had that pressure of, like, okay.
He just went out.
Oh really? Okay, that's fine. I've never really had that pressure of like, okay, I have a job to do. I have a duty to like make sure these people are entertained. You know what I mean? And that's why I wanted to, to kind of get this like on record, kind of, because, we're gonna look at this 2 years in the future and be like, dang, like we were talking about this and now we do it for a living. You know what I mean? Like that. For me, I feel like that's cool. And that's why it's. I feel like that's why I'm asking you these questions, because eventually, we're gonna become, our own little thing. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to perform, just by ourselves in front of, Madison Square Garden, if you will.
But the biggest thing is it's not by ourselves, but it's like we'll be headlining is the biggest thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be opening no more and nothing like that. It's gonna be like, dog, in the future we're gonna be having tours just about us, you know what I'm saying? Like, fan base going to see us, you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
right,
that's definitely going to be lit to see, not even to see, but be doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, be involved in that. And to get to that point, that should just go be wonderful, you know what I'm saying? And the biggest thing I'll say is just don't expect nothing to come quick, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
It's definitely going to take time, which is fine, because the slow money going to make the longest.
Right.
Last the longest.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And just make the best fan base, bro. And
do you, really.
The biggest thing I'll tell you, too, bro, that I've came to the realization, stop thinking, oh, dog, I don't want to embarrass myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just do shit, bro. If you're feeling like doing something, bro, do it. And if someone has something to say, be like, okay, that's all you have to say. They're just telling your opinion, and you all you have to be is like, okay, you know what I mean? Like,
not for sure.
Like, even if they're trying to almost tell you what to do, it's like, okay, like that doesn't mean you have to go and change it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, all right.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So that's just like one of the biggest things too. It's like, bro, just don't be afraid You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I was telling you this at one point, and I was telling a few other different people too, but, bro, I almost even want to make the content where it's like, it's cringy to us, like, being adults and, like, other people, but for the kids, it's huge. Just being, like, doing kid content, like,
right. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah, just like doing like simple videos where it's like almost like so simple videos where you're just like, wow, like what are they doing in this video? And it's just like a pen drawing or some shit, like doing spirals.
Instead of like how we were talking about, you know, they're scrolling and oh, there's titties and hello.
Exactly, just doing something like that because, bro, that shit has so much potential. And it's like, yeah, you could. I feel like a reason why so many people don't do it is, or even just TikTok videos or a whole bunch of like content forums, bro. They just think people are gonna have shit to say, and people always will have shit to say. You know what I mean? But who gives a fuck? Like, what the fuck is that gonna do to you? You know what I mean? Especially if you're gonna fucking if you really have big plans and really want to do shit. People in your hometown or even just people who are saying shit right now. What the fuck does it matter to them? What? Say 50 people, even 500 people. What the fuck is that compared to 5 million, bro?
Yeah.
You could have 5 million people fucking with your shit and 50,000 people hating, and what the fuck? Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Or the opposite, and even then it's fine. You know what I mean?
It's fine, bro. Because who gives a fuck? You doing what the fuck you want to do, and everybody who's really fucking with you fucks with you for you.
Exactly. No more Red Bull. That's a shame. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like this podcast has been going on for a minute. I feel like the sun's about to come down, so...
Yeah, I think it's a good place to wrap it up, for sure.
Yeah, a good place to wrap it up, and, I mean, to make it easier on the edit a bit, but it'll be fine.
Shit, till fucking next time. When you think you gonna be having me back again, fool?
I don't know. It might be a minute, but the thing is that I want to get out a lot more other... podcasts.
Not for surely.
But you know, I'll.
We're gonna do the 777 next episode 14.
14. He said
14 and then 21.
All right, there it is. I mean, he definitely locked in those podcasts. There's nothing I can say about it because, well, that's how it is. He might appear on a different podcast. You know, maybe pop in, but you know, that's it.
Yeah. But gonna be out here.
Yeah,
you already know. Big Dream. Check out Big Dream. Check out on the come up.
Yep.
You already know how the fuck we do. We out here, Heartless for forever. Shout out my dudes. Dope Beezy behind the camera. At Dope Boy Dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I'll just wrap it up right here, y'all. You know, follow, subscribe, bro. Do whatever. Definitely comment. Let me know how the podcast was. I definitely want to, you know, I want to hear the critique, you know, so that helps. And, you know, yeah, like how it is. What the fuck is going on?
What the fuck?